There is a place in Poland that almost nobody outside of Europe talks about. No crowds from the airport tour bus, no souvenir shops selling the same plastic trinkets you have seen in every capital city. Just jagged mountain peaks rising above a storybook wooden town where people still grill ancient cheese on the street and the air smells like pine forests and open sky. This is Zakopane, and once you see it, you will wonder why it took you this long to find it. Today, we're counting down the 6 best things to do and see in Poland's most magical mountain town. Stay until number 1 because it is one of the most beautiful places on the entire continent. Number 6. We start on the top of the world, literally. Gubałówka is a mountain ridge that rises directly above Zakopane, and getting there is half the thrill. You board the famous funicular railway, the carriages rattle and climb. Then just like that, the entire Tatra mountain range opens up in front of you, like someone pulled back in curtain. Snow-capped peaks stretching as far as you can see. The entire town of Zakopane nestled in the valley below, like a model village. The air suddenly sharp and clean in your lungs. But the summit isn't just a viewpoint, it's alive. Traditional wooden stoves line the ridge, and the air is thick with smoky, salty aroma of oscypek, the famous smoked sheep's cheese of the Polish highlands, grilling right in front of you. In summer, hiking trails cut through the wildflower meadows. In winter, the whole ridge transforms into a sparkling light festival. At any time of year, you can sink into a terrace chair at a mountain cafe, wrap your hands around a warm drink, and just stay. Poets and painters have been coming here for centuries. The moment you arrive, you will understand exactly why. Number 5. If Gubałówka is the soul of Zakopane, then Krupówki Street is its heartbeat. This is Poland's most famous mountain boulevard, a mile-long pedestrian zone that never really sleeps, and walking down it for the first time is a full sensory experience. The architecture alone is worth stopping for. Every building is wooden, carved with intricate highland patterns, with steeply angled roofs built to shade the heavy mountain snow. It looks like an entire town built by master craftsmen, because it was. On almost every corner, local vendors press golden discs of grilled oscypek into your hands. Smoky, salty, slightly chewy, always served with cranberry jam. It sounds strange. It tastes like the mountains themselves. Horse-drawn carriages clatter across the cobblestones. Live folk music spills out from the doorways of rustic taverns. High-end boutiques sit next to handmade wool shops where you can buy traditional highland sweaters that will genuinely keep you warm for the next 20 years. And farming the whole scene at the far end of the street, the unmistakable silhouette of Giewont Mountain rising above the rooftops like a natural monument placed there on purpose. Krupówki is not just a street, it is the reason people fall in love with this town. Number 4. Ready to go higher? The Kasprowy Wierch Cable Car is one of the most exhilarating rides in all of the Central Europe. It's not for the faint-hearted. This historic lift carries you nearly 2,000 meters above sea level from the Green Valley floor up into the raw, rocky world of the high Tatras. As you rise, the trees disappear, the valley shrinks, and then granite peaks close in around you, enormous, ancient, and indifferent to everyone below them. At the summit, you are standing on the spine of the mountains. The actual border between Poland and Slovakia runs right underneath your feet. The silence up here has weight to it. The noise of the town completely replaced by wind and open sky. In summer, this is a hiker's paradise. Trails branching off in every direction through rocky alpine terrain. In winter, it becomes one of Poland's most legendary ski destinations, with slopes that challenge even experienced riders. Even if you do nothing at the top except stand and look, the panoramic view stretching across the Tatras in both directions is one of those views that changes how you see the world. Not a metaphor, literally changes it. Number 3. Every town has its symbol. For Zakopane, it is the mountain, Giewont, the sleeping giant. Look at the ridge from any point in the town and you will see it immediately. The silhouette of a massive figure lying on its back, arms folded across his chest, face tilted toward the sky. Local legend says the giant will rise when the mountains are in danger. After 2,000 years, he is still sleeping. At the very top, nearly 2,000 meters up, stands a 15-meter iron cross that has become one of the most recognizable symbols in all of Poland. It has been a destination for pilgrims and hikers for over a century. The hike to ridge takes you through lush meadows, dense pine forests, and finally a steep rocky scramble where the path narrows and your hands find the chain rails bolted into the stone, and then you are up. Wind your hair. The entire pothole valley spread out below you. The Tatra peaks run in every direction, the iron cross casting a shadow across the granite. It is a place where you feel small in exactly the right way. Number 2. The Eye of the Sea. That is the translation of Morskie Oko. And when you see it from the first time, you will understand exactly where the name came from. Hidden deep inside Tatra National Park, this is widely considered one of the most beautiful mountain lakes in the entire world. The water is a shade of emerald green that doesn't look natural. It looks painted. Surrounding it on 3 sides, granite walls that rise hundreds of meters straight out of the shoreline, their reflections sitting perfectly still on the surface below. Getting there is part of the experience. The trail winds through the ancient forests of pine and spruce, past tumbling waterfalls, gaining altitude with every turn, until suddenly the trees open up and the lake is just there, enormous and silent and impossibly beautiful. At the water's edge, a historic wooden mountain hut has been serving hikers since the 19th century. You can sit on a terrace, order a bowl of something warm, and breathe in the thin mountain air while marveling at the highest peaks in Poland rising directly above you. For those who want more, a trail continues upward to Zornistow, the Black Pond, a darker, more dramatic lake above with a bird's eye view back down to Morskie Oko that will make your jaw drop. In winter, the lake freezes solid and the peaks above it are wrapped in snow. In summer, the surface shimmers like hammered silver. There's no bad time to come here. There's only this place, which once you see it, you will spend the rest of your life trying to describe to people who haven't. Number 1. And our number 1, the place that perfectly captures every Zakopane about, is Poland. Szymoszkowa. Here is what makes the spirit unlike anything else on this list. In winter, you ski or snowboard down wide, gentle slopes while the entire Tatra mountain range sits directly in front of you, peak after peak after peak, filling your entire field of view with the most extraordinary ski backdrop in Central Europe. No tunnel vision down a narrow run, the whole mountain world wide open right there. But when the snow melts, the transformation is just a spectacular. You can take the chairlift up purely for the panoramic views, no skis required, and just sit with the mountains. Or you can head to the geothermal swimming pool at the base, filled with mineral-rich water from deep underground, naturally warm, steaming gently into the mountain air. Imagine floating in warm mineral water while the jagged peaks of the Tatras tower above you on the horizon. The sky enormous, the air clean, the sound of the mountains all around you. That is the Poland, Szymoszkowa. That is Zakopane at its lightest, its most joyful, its most alive. Zakopane isn't just a destination, it's a feeling. Floating cheese on a mountain top, a giant asleep on the horizon, a lake so perfect it looks like it was invented for painting, a pool of warm water with Tatras watching over you. Poland has been keeping this place a secret for too long. If this video made you want to go, hit that like button and subscribe. We have more hidden corners of Europe coming your way very soon. I'll see you in the next one.